Today is Sunday, the 15th of December, and I am sharing this because I just recently had some serious emotional issues. And when you're dealing with someone with BPD, borderline personality disorder, or dissociative identity disorder, after a certain while, no matter who the person is, people tend to not accept the fact that you have major triggers. And although yesterday I tried to do something positive and upload some things using certain skills, but when somebody shoots you down because you have a moment where you really feel as though that, what's the point? Because it gets too overwhelming. I can encourage a lot of people. Unfortunately, I don't know how to encourage myself. And out of the few people, which is basically 3 people, when one shoots you down because they don't understand what causes you to get triggered, and then you could tell them, your therapist says, unfortunately, if you have complex PTSD, once triggered, it is also difficult. It can take weeks. Sometimes it takes days, but it could take weeks, and to some people it could take months to get yourself back on track. And if every day or every other day I'm being triggered or I'm being yelled at because no one gets it, what am I supposed to do? I have one person who I really care about who shut me down because I went through it 3 days ago, or 2 days ago, 3 days ago. And I look at that person as a mom. And it's like, whatever. Oh, you having issues? You need to call 911. You need to take yourself to the ER. Instead of being there, I'm not a monster. Anybody with borderline personality disorder can understand how people will treat you different because they don't understand it, and they push you to the side. And sometimes, we'll reach out to people that we really don't know because we feel as though we won't be judged. But when even those that you reach out to don't understand, and you don't understand their response, and they don't understand why you're going through what you're going through, it's like sometimes you get to the point that, why bother? Why bother trying to encourage people? I'm tired of people telling me that I can't help somebody if I'm mentally not right. But that's almost like, and I don't like using examples, but that's almost telling somebody who's an alcoholic that they can't tell their child, let me steer you in the right direction. I don't want you to suffer. I don't want you to go through this. This is what you can do to better yourself. Okay? So, but no one would tell them, who are you to tell them that they can better themselves when you can't better yourself? In situations, in certain situations, you can't help yourself, but you can help somebody else. Now, nobody may not understand my logic and my thinking, but I've always been told, even though the people don't understand me, and they may not even know my situation, but I've always been told that I gave them good advice, and they thanked me for it. I had one parent that I used to babysit for. She actually came back 3 years later and thanked me for everything that I did for her. I actually almost forgot who she was. And, but the thing is, when you have a moment, when you're triggered, when you're going through, who's there for you? And then to question someone's faith, even an atheist, they may not serve a God, but they believe in God because they know He's real. But they just, I could be wrong, but they know of Him. So for it to say that, it's almost like I don't even think God exists because I'm going through what I'm going through. You can pray. Then who's to say that's not going to help? It may lessen it. He knows what we go through. And I don't even think He will judge us. We're all His children. And we all go through things. And we all handle it in different ways. And I don't isolate people. People take and pull away from me because they don't understand me. And now here I have to go face a church that really don't understand me. And sometimes I just feel as though I'm just there to be their video person. I don't feel a part of them. And I don't feel a part of anything. And YouTube has become my friend because y'all don't talk back to me. Y'all can't criticize me. And y'all can't put me down. And people with borderline personality disorder, they just want to be accepted. They don't want to be looked down on, judged. And what have you. Now, I have to admit that a lot of the skills that I've learned has helped me because in a situation the way that I am right now, I used to be very destructive, and that's how I used to be able to numb myself from the emotions and feelings that I'm going through. I would tear up things because my focus is on tearing up this stuff, and then my focus be on the cleaning up of it. No, it's not the most effective, but guess what? What process that any of us use to numb ourselves is effective or wise, okay? That's why they have skills dealing with wise mind. And I don't even feel like going out this house, but I know that if I stand here, it will not be a very good thing for me to do. And right now, I need to use one of those distress tolerance skills, the TIP, to try to get myself grounded because these struggles are real. And when you're triggered back to back to back to back, trust me, I understand. I feel you on every angle. I may not know your personal struggle. You may not know my personal struggle. But to some degree, we walk in each other's shoes. And the emotional part, the overly sensitive part, that's real. Don't let nobody tell you that it's not. And on that note, I'm trying my best because I don't want to go into a hyperventilation cry. I don't feel like taking no treatment. I don't feel like going to nobody's ER. And I definitely don't want to be on nobody's steroids trying to breathe. So, this has been a very rough week and a half. And, you know, I'm trying to encourage myself by talking. And then sometimes what I'll do after it's uploaded, then I'll use that tool to listen to help me see what I could have did differently. And sometimes it helps, sometimes it don't. But the thing is, you have to push and keep trying. And I push and I push. Yes, I want to give up. But at the end, I'm working towards a life worth living. Do I get knocked down afterwards? When I get there because something may else trigger me? Yes. Do I have some of the skills that I can use that, become second nature? Yes, so it makes the suffering a little bit less. But that's about it. I needed to vent. I needed to get it out. I didn't need to walk out of here and go to church and completely melt down, break down, and they have no clue what in the world is going on with me. Yeah, I share just about everything. Y'all probably think that, and not supposed to judge, and I am not supposed to judge me either. I shouldn't worry about what somebody think of me because that's not the most important thing. The most important thing is being effective and trying to stay in wise mind. It is not easy, and right now I am in emotional mind. I am having a hard time trying to even get into the reasonable part of the mind. And if I was able to get in the reasonable part of the mind, then I could try to get them to overlap and make myself snap into wise mind. Now, maybe somewhere along the line throughout the course of the day, I may make it there. Or maybe when I come in, I'm just going to go to sleep. And then I'm not going to be using any of the please skills, which means, you got to take care of your physical health. You got to eat. You got to do all the things to make sure that you're okay. Right now, I am not okay, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Have a nice day. Sorry if this was not too encouraging or uplifting for anyone, but I think this was more or less for me.